ESPN's Jeremy Fowler has continued to reveal some of the results from his polling executives, coaches, and scouts on respective positions. This time, we have the revealing of the top 10 quarterbacks heading into this NFL season. Josh Allen, he's still at the top. Justin Herbert is now out of the top 5, and Caleb Williams enters the chat, plus a little bit things more. But before we talk about it and break it all down, you already know you gotta hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, football fans, and welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, and I'm holding it down for today's daily episode. So if you're tuned in, go ahead and support the channel on our road to capturing our first 1,000 followers by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. Now, we know that ESPN's Jeremy Fowler has been doing these polls for the last few years. And then this year, we got the polling and the rankings for the top 10 edge rushers that me and Steve-O broke down last week. We've also seen a number of other ones in other positions, like the tight end position as well. But on today's episode, I want to go ahead and break down the top 10 quarterbacks according to Jeremy Fowler's polling executives, coaches, and scouts around the NFL. Now, this is now going to be placed on your screen. So for your viewing, if you're viewing, and we got Josh Allen at number 1. Patrick Mahomes comes in at number 2. Matthew Stafford comes in at number 3. Joe Burrow at number 4. Lamar Jackson at 5. Dak Prescott at 6. Justin Herbert at 7. Drake May at 8. Jared Goff at 9. And rounding out the top 10 is Caleb Williams of the Chicago Bears. Some guys that fell right outside of the top 10, according to Jeremy Fowler, include names like Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, and they surprisingly they had Jalen Hurts listed at the 17th spot. Super Bowl winner, 17th spot. How do you guys feel about this list? Drop your thoughts and everything down below in the comment box. But now I want to just go ahead and have a few things, just discuss a few things that's on my mind looking at this top 10 list right here. The first thing is Josh Allen really the best quarterback in the NFL? I will say yes. I will say yes, especially considering last season and the season prior. For me, it's always been Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, but we've seen a little bit of a regression from Patrick Mahomes. In the last 2 seasons, we witnessed Josh Allen win MVP. And then last year, we seen him have a strong season with a disappointing ending to his season. So I think that is really fair considering the Kansas City Chiefs missed the playoffs last year. Patrick Mahomes went down with injury. I think that is fair to say that Josh Allen is absolutely the best quarterback in the NFL right now, at least headed into the 2026 season and considering last season in 25. I know there's going to be some people that want to bring up the fact that Patrick Mahomes has won championships in the past, and we cannot take those away from Patrick Mahomes. But that is not the end all be all according to this ranking right here. This is based on last year and headed into 2026, and it's rightfully so. With Patrick Mahomes honestly being at second, I think he should be a little bit more further down. I will have, honestly, keep it a buck with you, I will have Matthew Stafford at number 2. I feel like this poll really wanted to keep, you know what I'm saying, Patrick Mahomes right up there with the top 2 because he is definitely a spectacular quarterback. But if we're basing it off this last year and headed into this year, we don't know if Patrick Mahomes is going to start the season off, week 1. It might be some time to where Justin Fields has to come in and fill in for Patrick Mahomes. So I think that I believe it's appropriate to have Matthew Stafford as the second best quarterback heading into the 2026 NFL season. I think it makes a lot of sense for a number of reasons. And y'all let me know how y'all feeling about that. And I understand it too. You know what I'm saying? Have it if people don't agree with it. But I just feel like the MVP should at least be in that top two. Having him at three, not really something that we should be up in arms about, but I think it's something that's is good to have right there, at least in my opinion, with Matthew Stafford being the second best. The craziest thing is that the consensus for the last few seasons has been Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has fallen from some people graces, and rightfully so. And the same thing could be said about Joe Burrow, with him ending up at the 4th spot. We know how spectacular both of these quarterbacks can be for their respective teams, but injuries have plagued them these last few seasons. And we know that Joe Burrow worked through some things last season, but considering everything in the end results, you just can't have him in that top three, in my personal opinion. The surprising thing was Dak Prescott, man, coming in at 6, but I got to keep it a buck with you. Dak Prescott is a really good quarterback, in my opinion. He does have his flaws, but he can deliver a nice ball. I think he's a really solid quarterback that can have this, and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. The one that I was really, really surprised to see on this list and where they were, though, was Justin Herbert coming in at 7 on this top 10 list. I did not expect the NFL executive scouts and coaches to place Justin Herbert at 5. If we're keeping it a buck, the NFL has Justin Herbert as their darling. Justin Herbert is the NFL's darling, and they act like just because he has so much talent, he can't do no wrong. And I was actually surprised to see him place 7th in this top 10 list, because I really believe when the list was revealed that he will be still mentioned as a top 5 quarterback. Let's keep it a buck. This guy that does have a lot of talent, but he has not produced to the level of that said talent. I understand we can go ahead and break down some of the injuries to the left tackle and the right tackle last year, who's their best 2 offensive linemen. But at the same time, what about prior to last year, when he had ample opportunities to get the job done and has failed to get the job done? He does not, Justin Herbert does not have a playoff win on his resume. Young quarterbacks that just enter the league, like Caleb Williams, like Jaden Daniels, like Drake May, they all have playoff wins before the highly talented in the NFL's darling, Justin Herbert. So honestly, I believe it's a fair ranking. He is very talented. And to be honest with you, I would have put Drake May over Justin Herbert. How many times are we going to give Justin Herbert to show that he's really like that? Now, this is the season. This is absolutely the last straw, in my personal opinion, for Justin Herbert. There should be no more excuses. You're going to get your offensive lineman back. They made changes to your offensive coordinator. Now you have Mike McDaniels, and you have John Harbaugh. So Jim Harbaugh, excuse me. So you're going to have every opportunity to go out there and make something happen. Justin Herbert, go make something happen. For real, for real. The surprising name that I thought about that was going to be on this list was Caleb Williams, to be honest with you. I did not expect NFL executives to go out there and vote him so highly, but I could respect it, because you know what I'm saying? All those comebacks in the fourth quarters, those mean a lot to executives and some scouts. That firepower that he has in his arm, hey, not a lot of guys can have that. You know, not a lot of guys possess that type of firepower in their arms. And then the talent, the clutch gene, and bringing guys along. It was honestly surprising, but you kind of understand it, because some executives, they look at what can a guy do and how can they do it. And when you look at Caleb Williams' highlight tape from last season, it's just spectacular throw after spectacular throw after game saving throw after game winning throw. Like, it was just ridiculous on the amount of things that Caleb Williams did last season. And lastly, before we get up out of here, I want to ask this big question. Why is Sam Darnold not in the top 10? Now, when we do ask that question, on the flip side, we got to ask, who do you take out? Who do you take out if you want to include a guy like Sam Darnold in the top 10? My selection, Jared Goff. Get Jared Goff is a really good quarterback. Absolutely can dice you up from within the pocket. But I feel like there has to be some type of respect to go to Sam Darnold, especially considering that he won a Super Bowl last year. And he played well throughout the playoffs. And he plays in a tough division. And this is his second consecutive season of playing really good football, with one of those seasons resulting in him winning the Super Bowl. So if you asking me, my top 10 will omit Jared Goff. He'll be right outside of it alongside guys, you know what I'm saying, like Jaden Daniels, alongside guys like Jordan Love, and so on and so forth. But Sam Darnold should be in his top 10. That's just my personal opinion. He absolutely should be in his top 10. He plays really good football. And if we're basing it off last year, what better way to stamp off a season with a Super Bowl? Sam Darnold did that. I don't know. But hey, that is it for me today, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode. Before you get up out of here, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Drop your comments down below. Let's chop it up regarding this top 10 quarterback list. We'll be able to continue the conversation down below. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you always love football. And y'all already know we're going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks